no.
Was that an orgasm or a? I don't know.
The
Yes.
answer is yes.
Yes. Well, we are Murder Moose, part of the Slash and Cast podcast network.
It's in the game.
It's in Ken's ass.
It's in my ass.
We even said it's in Ken's ass last week when you weren't here.
Yeah, it was in. Didn't we say it was in mine temporarily? So
I don't know. We said it was in someone's
what you
ass.
said.
I don't remember what I said 5 seconds ago. So, but yes, we're back.
Who are you?
I don't know who the fuck I am. I'm E for existential dread, like Ken's shirt.
That's me.
I do. I was looking at that shirt. I like it. It's much better than the other shirt you had on.
Oh man.
I'm being personally attacked really quickly though, because I noticed that we need to do this more often. My name is Continue.
It is.
This is Rod. And
I am
this
Brian.
gentleman is Brian. Did you know that I do a podcast with?
No, I didn't know that, Ken.
So fun story.
This is a fun story.
Can I tell this story?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Brian's girlfriend came into chat. I did not know that she was Brian's girlfriend. I did not know anything. So she comes in and asks if I remember who she is, and her username has changed since the last time. And I'm like, no. Like, I was like, I don't know. Like, she was like, I had changed it. And I was like, yeah, then I definitely am not going to know. And then she was like, I'm Brian's girlfriend. And I was like,
Brian who?
Brian who? Like, I literally had texted a Brian the day before. Like, I don't know. I know like 80,000 Brians. She was like, Brian from the podcast. And I was like, which podcast?
Your
like,
podcast.
Your podcast. And I was like, which one?
Ken only thinks of one thing now, and that's satisfactory.
Satisfactory and Katz's dick. That's all we got going on in that brain.
Yep. I mean, Brian and I remember when we were like, hey, let's start the podcast, and Ken was getting busy, and here we are.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
she had to get her swerve on.
But everyone,
that's spelled SCHWERV. Swerve.
Swerve.
It's a swerve on.
There's a gizmo in the background.
I saw that sweet precious baby.
He's not sweet and precious.
He's behind me.
The tripod.
Yeah.
Do you call him the tripod?
No, I call him little fucking asshole most of the
That
time.
calls you the tripod now, Rod.
I mean,
yeah, we've been. I don't think we've been calling anything other than that, right? Hasn't that just been kind of the status quo since I've been here? He's got a massive thing.
I mean, it's what it is, but I mean, here we are, and we're wrapping up, man.
Back.
Okay, Brian is Brian's got to poop, and so he's gonna wander off in the podcast, and so. Now everyone just remember that Brian is pooping until he talks again.
Poop.
Ken, I have to say,
I
really like your Halloween tree, and your chat was harassing you about it today, and I was like, I
was so close, like I shit you not, because like at first I was like, oh, ha. Then it got to a point where I was like, fuck it, I'll take the damn thing out and put it in the living room where I had it last year, and we'll just stare at. I won't even put anything behind. We'll just stare at the fucking wooden walls. Like, fuck off. It's a Halloween tree. My asshole. If you're not watching the podcast and you're just listening, I have a jet black Christmas tree that was gifted to me by the stream last year, with purple and orange lights on it, and then there's some ornaments that are like pumpkins or like
I see Michael Myers,
witches, and then then I've got wooden ones that are like Ghostface and Michael Myers and Chucky and like a shitload of them, and a Mothman, and the top has like a black intricate bow, and it's got a Mothman Christmas skirt, and then Mothman all on the bottom. So today they decided, I think it's because I fed into it. Had I just been like, oh yeah, blah, 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 it would have been fine. But instead I let it get to me, and it's still getting to me.
You poured gas.
It wouldn't be so bad if I could find my fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre door cover, because then I would just take it out. Then I wouldn't have to think about it. But now tomorrow I'm really tempted to set up some Christmas shit back here because I still have some down here. And now I'm super tempted to do it.
I want Santa Claus behind you and just be like mocking all of them. I mean, let's be real. The number one troublemaker was Owen, and Owen's always a real big troublemaker. So, I mean,
he apologized later. He was like, I didn't realize it was going to get that out of hand. And I was like, no.
Dude, I don't even know how out of hand it was because by the time I left around 7 my time, which is Ken's usual 7 o'clock, it was like you had pulled up your thing to ignore people and like your green screen. I'm just like, these motherfuckers, man. They are just.
I was like, fuck all this.
That's why I say it all the time. Like, there is a part of all of us streamers who are like, there's masochism where we just want the abuse because like. That's the only thing that makes sense. Like, we sit there and say shit and do things, and it's just like, and all it does, we hire our biggest trolls to be our mods, and then here we are, and they're just like, ugh, fucking troublemakers.
People are like, why do streamers have such bad mental health? Because I am literally bullied by my chat every day. I'm just kidding. I love them. They're wonderful. I mean, no, I'm just kidding.
My chat is their favorite thing is to make me do workout things and then a guy who's been hanging out recently. He likes to throw bits at me and tell me to do squats, and I'm just like, there are points too, but like even that doesn't matter. It's just like abuse, and like. I don't know, man. It was funny because King, you'll enjoy this. So I did. There's a side track story, but like, I was like last week. I was like a couple weeks ago. I was like, I kind of want to do therapy again because it's been a while. It had been like 6 weeks, and so I did it. And then I'm sitting there like 5 after, and my therapist messaged me. She's like, "Are you gonna come to the thing?" I'm like, "I'm sitting in the lobby." Like our fucking site didn't tell us each other that we were there, and so I had to refresh everything and saw it. And I'm like. Yeah, but we were talking about how like because no one took care of me mentally as a kid that like then I want to take care of everyone else and how it's like a thing that I've been working through and I'm just like god damn because as I'm divorced now but it's just finalizing everything else that's just like and it's just the internal monologues of my brain, man. The internal monologues of my brain. You're just like fucking, and I have Zelda, it's her birthday today. She's a 2-year-old, and she's smacking me because she wants treats. So,
she's a hungry bean.
Ken, we missed you last week. We talked about Terrifier 3. I know you haven't seen it, but I think you'll enjoy it if you liked, especially if you like 2. I think 3 was a lot of fun. And
never watched 2.
Oh yeah, did you have issues with it, or was that before?
I never got to it, and then like I don't know, it just slipped my brain.
Oh,
so.
It's funny because my buddy Dr. Claw, he's like a little affiliate streamer like me, and we had talked about it enough in his chat that he finally, I guess Tubi has Terrifier, the original, on it, and the hacksaw into the vagina scene showed up, and as soon as that was done, he got a commercial for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's beautiful.
So it made me laugh. And because I told him, I was like, I'm never going to tell anyone to go watch Terrifier 1 if they're like looking for what the series is. Cause I'm like, the second one's actually kind of a movie. I mean, it is a movie. Like the first one's just like a 90-minute gore porn kind of thing. Like, but I think he watched it and I don't know what he said, but like, I don't know if he's going to end up watching Terrifier 2 now. And I'm just like, because it's been funny because it was like people are throwing a hissy fit about there are children that get murdered in the movie, and I'm like, you motherfuckers weren't all like pissed off. Like in Classic 80s Discord, we watch movies every night, and I don't do it all the time because of streams and stuff like that. But we watched Trick or Treat the other night, and kids get murdered. There's Chapter 1 where the Georgie gets his arm bitten off like 2 seconds into the movie. It's like. Children get murdered in horror movies. It happens. So don't act like because Terrifier has something like, because it's a little more extreme, that the children don't get murdered in horror movies on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just because Jason Voorhees doesn't want to murder children.
I mean,
just teens.
Freddy Krueger was a child killer, and that's why he got burned to death by the parents of Springfield, right? So it's like,
was he a killer or was he a rapist, like a molester?
So he was a killer. It was the reboot that kind of implied he was also a kid toucher, but they never like. Yeah, I mean, you kind of get the little inklings of what he was like back in Freddy vs. Jason when he's giving like the background of everything like that, but like they never implied he was a molester in the original Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It's like, who knows, man? I mean, it's still whatever. It's like kids get murdered in a horror movie, and guess what, guys? It's not real, and way more fucked up shit happens to kids in real life. So, yeah, I know.
They're just little adults. I'm joking. Jesus Christ. God. Speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, I showed this to Brian earlier, so thankfully this will be given to them before this comes out. Not that I think that they listen to the podcast or anything, but my friend here that I hang out with a lot, he's always wanted, like, he collects figures like mad. Like, you think I collect figures?
Yeah.
He's next level. Anyway, he has a list of like random stuff that he's always wanted that I just, because like whenever I talk to people, if we're hanging out or whatever and somebody mentions something like that, I put it in their notes. Like I just add it to people's like contact info. And he had mentioned a long time ago that he wanted a particular Cinema of Fear Nightmare on Elm Street 4 Dream Master of Debbie Stevens turning into the Roach, I guess.
Yeah.
And I found it on eBay. It's not in perfect condition.
No, the box is a little beaten up. Yeah.
And I was so stoked. So I'm giving that to him tomorrow.
That's awesome. I mean, it's funny. I had people going, "Oh, I don't trust people who don't have like collectibles and shit that like shows their interest." And I'm like, I have stuff like that, but my ex hoards shit, and it just like I'm like, and I hate it. So like, I don't buy a lot of collectible shit. Like I have some posters, and like you can see the Pop Funkos behind me. But guess what? I didn't buy those for myself. Those were gifted to me. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just like, I hate shit that just like clogs up my house because like my mom is a fucking hoarder, and it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't want any part of that, and I'm just like. And
I haven't really bought anything since I moved. Like once I started going to Canada regularly, because A, how am I going to get it there? And B, I just, so
you don't want to fill up Kat's house with shit too quickly.
Not yet.
You want to take your time on it. So speaking of Tennessee, how is the? Have you gone to a movie? Have you done anything besides hanging out with your troublemaker mod?
Not really. So I spent like a week with him. I spent like a week, like 4 days with my parents, and then with him and my parents because I was very adamant that we needed to spend time with them because that's why I'm here. And then this week it's primarily just me and my parents. So we've been doing cooking. My dad's really into fall this year, so we've been decorating. We're going to like setting up doctor's appointments for them, taking the cat to the vet, stuff like that. And then this weekend, my aunts from Florida get here, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And Saturday Cats gets here. And we've been telling random people online that we're eloping this weekend. So I'm really curious. And then we talked about it today, and he was like, "Do you really want to elope this weekend?" And I was like, I guess. I don't know.
It would make the whole Canada thing a little bit simpler, wouldn't it?
Oh my God. Yes.
I mean, but then you still have to.
So funny.
You still have to apply for like green cards and shit like that, right? At that point.
So for Canada, you have to apply for if you're married, there's a spousal visa. It can take anywhere between 3 months to 2 years to process. It's not nearly as expensive as like a regular one.
Yeah.
So then you would get resident status, but you don't have citizenship, and you have to hold resident status for 5 years before you can apply for dual citizenship.
Yeah.
But the reason you would go spousal is so that I don't have to get
Come
a
back.
job in Canada.
Oh, okay.
And have like a work visa, so I can continue to do what I do because it is completely legal. Because it is through the US, I'm still getting paid in the US. I'm getting paid, I'm not taking a Canadian job. So that's totally acceptable. And I know this because immigration and I have discussed it a couple times now.
I mean, you can't take accepted sponsors from Canadian
exactly.
game studios.
I cannot work with a Canadian game studio while I'm in Canada.
How many?
I can work with one while I'm here.
How many Canadian game studios are there?
How would I know? That's the biggest thing now. Like now, if I take a sponsored job while I'm in Canada, I have to double check just to make sure that I'm adhering to the rules.
Yeah, they're not Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll be damned if somebody is gonna like try to claim that I'm doing anything illegal because I am following this to a T. Because when I do move, I don't want any bullshit. Like I am following this. It's just like filing taxes. I go above and beyond. I do way too much. If something fucks up, doesn't matter. They can have the extra $300 because I don't want attention.
Dude, it reminds you were the one who was showing the like the Arab guy doing those dual person things, right? Where he's like, one's like the IRS, and he's like, how much do I owe you? Oh, you have to do this if it like, and you're like, but you know how much it is. Oh, you have to figure that out anyways, and like, but
you have to.
What if you do it wrong? That's tax fraud.
You go to jail. Well, that's fine. No, we'll take your stuff. Well, that's fine. I'll just buy more stuff. No, go to jail. Well, I don't want to do that.
That makes me laugh because it's really like America's such a fucking backwards thing with so many things, and that's one of the big ones. It's like
it's so stupid, like all because TurboTax and that shit can lobby. Now we have to jump through fucking hoops for the IRS. Like, just take the money and shut the fuck up. Like, I don't need to sit here and bash my head against a door and hope and pray that I'm giving you the right money.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there should be all we should have to do is file write-offs and shit like that. That's all we should have to do. Like, oh, okay, I did this year. Okay, cool. You take this base number. Like, I don't even know what it's going to be next year because with my divorce and everything like that, I don't know how that's going to be a giant pain in the ass. And I'm just like, I don't want, and like, because I still have to fucking refinance or get money out of my house to pay the X off and all that shit. And I'm just like, I don't want to. So, besides pooping, was he having AC problems? Is that what was happening when I got here? Okay.
Yeah, he's got they're like trying to fix something in his AC unit, and it's not just the unit, like the whole house is wired wonky. So they're working on it, and his friend is there helping, so he'll be in and out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like that sorry. What have you been up to?
I don't, man. Prepping for trying to go to Burning Man next year. Like my bike came in on Saturday. Oh, and of course it did. So I'm sitting here, stream all day. I stream from like 9 till 2. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to see Smile 2 at like 3:40. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then 10 minutes after I leave my house, I get the thing that my bike has been delivered. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Like, it waited until like 10 minutes. And then so my neighbor pulled it over to her house, and she was like, no one's going to steal this shit. It was way too heavy. And I'm like, I don't know, man. So I've been like, you know that thing where like ADHD and like trying to put something together is like can be frustrating, and I think mine is even worse. I finally realized what it is. It's the ADHD plus not seeing things in my head. So like the instructions are there, but like if they don't show you every step exactly how it is, my not seeing things in my head plus my ADHD equal fire. Like my brain goes, ah. So I started putting my bike together, and I haven't gotten very far because I hate putting shit together because whatever. I saw Smile 2, like I said, and real good. I liked it a lot. You said you never even saw Smile 1, didn't you? Or was
I saw Smile.
Okay.
Smile freaked me the fuck out, remember? Because like emotionally and mentally that movie fucked with me, not because it was scary as in like a physical whatever. Mine was because of the fear of nobody listening to me and me being pushed into that situation.
The second one is like 2 hours of anxiety. I kid you not. Like it's like the whole time is like it's I think it's I mean the jump scares are even better in this one, but like it was sitting there, I'm like, oh, okay, it's that thing where like movies where like people do socially awkward things. I mean, it's like the first one, the cat scene, like where she's at the birthday party and the cat, the dead cat's in the box. Half the movie is like this. Like she, there's a scene with her and like this like crowd of people, and like she's reading a teleprompter, and like you're just like, oh no. But
I'm looking to see if we have access to it yet.
I don't think so. It's not digital yet.
I'm wanting to go see it. But tomorrow, this doesn't come out till Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So tomorrow I'm going to see the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre in theater.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm pretty stoked about that. I just have to remember I can't mention that. But so otherwise I'd go see it tomorrow, because I haven't even been to the theater. Like, and there's so many movies I want to see right now. I want to see The Apprentice while it's in theater. I want to see the Smile 2. I watched Beetlejuice. Like there's a lot of stuff, and then like it just keeps getting better and better, and I don't want to miss out on it, you know. So
I mean, you have that whole thing where you're not having a theater within 2.5 hours of you. It's like you're finally doing. You're like, oh, I could go see stuff, and it's just like,
it's just nonstop here, dude. They're showing Longlegs in our theater on Friday.
Nice, Brian.
It's the only time it's being shown here.
Well, we haven't started talking about Strange Darling, but we could do that now that you've returned.
Fantastic. So. Yeah, so sorry. I had a little air conditioning emergency.
No, we already told chat you were pooping, or we already told everyone listening you were pooping, so you just got back from pooping.
Totally fine.
Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about Strange Darling from this year. And, dude, one of the movies that like I had seen so many people talk about how good it was, and I don't know if I believe them, but now I believe them for sure. So, Kane, do you want to read a synopsis for Strange Darling?
Absolutely. Nothing is what it seems when a twisted one-night stand spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree. Yeah. Really quickly, this is definitely one of my favorite movies this year, if not my favorite movie of this year. I have obsessively discussed this movie. I love this movie. I want to watch it multiple times because Brian's watched it numerous times.
Yes, I've seen it 3 times now.
Yeah.
Damn. Dude, I was trying to wonder if like Quentin Tarantino had really written this movie, because one, it's out of sequence, which is a Quentin Tarantino staple, and 2, they have the whole foot. He's gonna shove his foot in her mouth and whatever, and I'm like, oh, Quentin Tarantino wrote this. But do you know what was funny about this that I didn't know until I watched videos about it? That the guy's name is like Jason something. He's an Hollywood actor. He was in The Italian Job. I think he might have been like one of the, or something like that, but he's like an actor. You would know him. I can't think of the guy's name. He was a cinematographer. Yeah, he was the cinematographer for this.
You're talking about Giovanni Ribisi.
Is that what?
Because there was Jason Patrick, but Giovanni Ribisi. Like we were talking about him at the start of the stream. He's fucking adorable. It took me forever to remember what I had first seen him in, and I remember now that it was about 2 people that were very, very autistic, and I cannot remember the name of it, but he falls in love with a girl who's severely autistic, and they decide they want to live by themselves and they want to do everything alone, and it's such a good movie. But he was phenomenal.
So like this is the first time he did cinematography, and I'm just like, damn,
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's really well shot, and I was like, this is like a beautiful movie, and it's such a you go from starting having one opinion, and at the end of the movie you're completely like backwards, and you're like, what the fuck? Also, I just thinking about this now, talking to you guys. The last scene of this movie kind of reminded me of In a Violent Nature, where like the old hillbilly kind of lady picks up a character, and then this one goes a little different.
Much different.
Native American woman that picks up this woman does not give me a 20-minute monologue that makes me want to stick things in my eye.
Only 10 minutes.
It's
only 10 minutes, but yeah.
Speaking of actors from this, Ed Begley Jr. His daughter was on a podcast that I listened to recently, and she was talking about how whenever he has a movie come out, he goes and sees it like numerous times because he's always just like, wow, I get to do this. This is so cool.
That's
like,
awesome. Yeah.
He's just like very like down to earth and is just always blown away by like people coming, and he's just like, this is so great. And she was talking about like he had been to all these different theaters and people recognize him, and he's just like, oh, and she's like, you've been doing this your whole life? And he's like, yeah, but this is just so great. I just love this. I'm so lucky.
So cute.
And I was like,
that's fucking adorable and shit, actually. Yeah.
Man, and this is another proof that Kyle, what's his last name? Kyle
Gallner.
Yeah, Gallner seems like the coolest dude in the world, and also is like,
I would let him do horrible things to me.
Yeah.
Get in line, bitch.
I think he doesn't seem very tall though. He's not very tall, is he?
I don't care.
What does that matter?
I'm 6'3". It matters a little bit. I don't know.
No, I get it.
Whatever. Flex away, Rod.
Right. He's 5'9".
Okay, he's a average then. Like, I think
so. He's 2 inches taller than I am.
Ken's a shorty. For my shorties.
He's 3 inches taller than I am.
How tall are you, Ken? Ken is 6'8".
Okay.
I always
73.
I always had a running thing with my college roommate where I was like laughing and I made a joke that like it's not like the DMV that like checks how tall you are, so you can tell them you're 8'6", and they would put it.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, you're right.
There was a girl I was listening to today on TikTok that's an EMT, and she was talking about that she was training another EMT, and they went to get someone who was just ill, like not doing well. They had to take him via ambulance, and so she's letting this other EMT ask the basic questions. Now, this man is missing both legs, like completely missing his legs. Just how he is. This is not why he was picked up. And the guy is like going through the questionnaire, the very basic stuff, and is like, okay, and how tall are you? And how much do you weigh? Kid never missed, like never skipped a beat, did not realize. The guy is like cracking up and trying not to laugh. She's trying not to laugh. They get him to the hospital. The nurse is asking the same questions. She's like, the EMT is like dying and trying so hard not to laugh. And she's like, you are being so, oh no. Then the guy said, when she asked, she said, how tall are you? And he was like, 6 foot, give or take 2 feet. And so the EMT starts laughing, and he's like, that is so disrespectful. I cannot believe you would do that. You're going to need to take some classes. I'm going to have to report you. And the guy was like, did you not catch what I just said? And she was like, what? He goes, I ain't got no legs.
That's funny.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, but Kyle, man, now he's like in the last couple of years. We did that one weird movie with him. Ken with
it was the Mama movie.
That movie was
May I?
Yeah, that movie. Have you seen that, Brian?
No, I haven't.
It's a weird movie.
His dead mother good. Like takes over his wife, and it is a fucking wild ass movie.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that. I pretty much watch him do anything. I love Kyle Gallner.
He was in Veronica Mars. He played Cassidy Beaver.
He's done a lot. I mean, dude, I think one of the first things I ever saw him in was what's it? Jennifer's Body, because he was like the emo kid in that movie. He was like
I've never watched that. Oh, I saw him in Haunting in Connecticut too, because that one was really.
He's been in all sorts of great stuff, and he's been great in everything he's in. He was one of the bright spots of the really shitty fucking Nightmare reboot.
Yeah, he was also at
Jennifer's Body.
Yep.
So
he's
a horror fucking. He's a horror staple nowadays.
He was in Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Sweet.
He was also in Scream 5 for like 2 seconds.
In that show by now.
4 or 5, okay. Yeah. Scream 5, yeah.
What Scream, Brian?
Scream 5. Yeah, he was a complete dirtbag, and he was glorious at it too.
he got murder killed very, very quickly. He got murder killed
in glorious fashion.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah,
no,
he's a stud.
Dude, he did another one that I never saw last year where he was like a serial killer and he like takes some like coworker like along on his killing spree with him that I didn't see. That was like, it was when we watched the Mother May I movie. Like,
oh, the Passenger.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. He's in Smile. Smile too.
He's dude. His character is the most frustrating character in all those movies because if he had listened to that lady and told him to stay the fuck away, then maybe the Smile thing would have ended. But he had to go show up and whatever the fuck he thought was going to happen. And, he done fucked shit up. And, it's funny because like the opening sequence is his character and like everyone is like talking about how good that opening sequence is. And it's impressive. I mean, I'm not going to ruin anything with you guys, but I'm like, I guess it was in the trailers for that though too. And like they show him
when they do that shit.
Yeah, they show his demise in the trailer. And I'm like, why?
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, talk about this. Like Kim was talking about a movie in her channel this morning or yesterday morning. And she said something about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching the only time I watch a trailer is like if it's a Marvel movie, because Marvel doesn't give a fuck. They will like fuck with you and show you shit that doesn't happen in the movie just to fuck with you. But like if it's not a trailer before a movie, I ain't watching it because horror movies, like they don't give a fuck, man. They're like, okay, yeah, here's the final act in the movie and the trailer, and it's just like I knew nothing going to Strange Darling. I knew nothing about the film. I knew that it was, I knew Kyle was in it, and I knew it was a horror movie.
I had thankfully not seen one trailer for this movie. I literally watched this movie based on the strength of Barbara Crampton, Kyle Gallner, and them just talking about how, well, particularly Kyle Gallner talking about how proud he was of the movie.
Yeah.
And Barbara Crampton talking about how amazing it was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. So I'd never watched one trailer for this movie.
Yeah.
And then I just watched it. And I'll agree with Ken. This is easily my number one movie of the year right now. This is the best movie I've seen this year. I think it's absolutely fucking amazing. The way the story unfolds out of order is just done to perfection.
It fucks with you.
This is master class fucking filmmaking right here, and master class storytelling.
It felt like it was going to be way too predictable. And then I will say, on first watch, where they're sitting in the car and they're talking, that felt like it went on forever. But looking back at it, I feel like it was perfect for building tension and understanding and like everything like that. Like, so well done.
Agreed.
Just everything about it was gorgeous.
Well, they do the thing where the movie is in 6 chapters and an epilogue, right? And like they show the first scene that you guys are talking about is actually like not even it's like chapter 1, but like that's after they show chapter 3 where I don't know about you guys. Like it kind of was like, for me, it was like, oh, Kyle's the bad guy. And then, oh, they're doing it together. And then, no, it's just the crazy bitch. Like
I had no idea he was going to turn out to be a fucking cop.
Yeah.
Or whatever. That I was like, oh, shit. I go, okay. I thought he was just pissed off that she tried to fucking kill his ass first or whatever. It unfolds, and you see her pull the fucking badge out and you're just like, oh shit. Things have taken an interesting turn at the Banga Hooker Hotel. And
well, dude, like, they mess with you because they show the old dude, the hippie kind of biker dude, dead, right? Yeah. Like in the was it chapter 4 or 5, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, and I can't remember. They don't show how he dies. So you're like, oh, Kyle's character killed him. And then the turning point where it was like, huh? Is like her stabbing him, and you're like,
yeah.
And that's
when she's eating breakfast, and Barbara Hershey's character is getting, because she keeps saying that she didn't want the cops called, obviously.
Yeah, and I thought at that point, I don't know about you guys, I was starting to think that they were on some like kind of kink thing. Like it was like they were like doing on it like as like partners in crime, that they were like killing. It was kind of like Thelma and Louise or something like that. Like, you know, it was like these two people doing a crime spree together. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Can we talk really quick though about the breakfast that Ed?
Oh, dude, I was like, this motherfucker just stuck I said it out loud. I was like, yeah, he stuck a stick of butter, an entire like. Bro, I was okay.
Yo, like I get that you have your cheat days or whatever, but wow, I was like.
I will say I don't get high often, but there's no way in hell I could ever even imagine getting high and being like, I'm gonna fry some eggs in an entire stick of butter.
Dude, I'll do that. Man. Okay, I've done that before with steak. Like I've put a shit ton of butter in when cooking steak. Yeah.
With butter.
Yeah, but like grilling it. I'm like, that was like 6 eggs with an entire stick of butter. I'm like, you fucking like this motherfucker.
I was dying watching it. Like I'm like, oh my God, like I feel my arteries clogging every time I get to a scene. Now that being said, I'd put my face in every bit of it.
Oh, dude! And then
there's a Twitter post that's like, can't stop thinking about, and it's just the image of the breakfast.
Dude, they do all that stuff, and then they just like they're like pouring like sausage and eggs and pouring jam out of a fucking like or jelly out of a fucking jar.
Ever shitting fuck are they like? I mean, I know they're old and they're just like, we're gonna fucking enjoy the 8 weeks we got left.
High.
Do what?
They were high. They were high.
I understand that, but I've never been that high.
I haven't either.
I'm just like
that was nuts. I was like,
dude,
oh my God.
I want to say something. This movie also did something that I thought was actually very, very like, I don't know how many times I've seen it. The talk about consent was actually, I was like, holy really shit. Good. Yeah, it was like the thing where it was like, you have this setup where you're like, oh, okay, that's what this movie does. It like keeps setting up expectations and then like swerving on you. And like they do the whole thing where like she basically, I mean, it's like
you don't know fully about those consent put in pieces until you've seen him chasing her with a gun and her running panicked, and then they're in a room, and then like he's acting all nice, and then he starts just strangling the fuck out of her and slapping her, and you don't know about the consent stuff
right, until
you're just back. like the whole time I was like, oh he's gonna rape her, like this is pure on rape, like we're all right, here we go.
It is like it's like when you can do like that's why I said Quentin Tarantino, that like the Quentin Tarantino thing of this of like non-linear storytelling is so it's not easy, right? It's like people don't pull off.
It's not. That's why I stress it. This is a masterclass in filmmaking and storytelling.
Yeah.
Because this story wouldn't have been nearly as effective if he just would have showed it in fucking order.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have had even close to the same impact that the story has.
Yeah.
But to show you those elements of shock, to come back to the explanation of it later is just, it's perfection. And it does make you, obviously it makes you think of Tarantino, but honestly, I don't think that Tarantino would have done this as good as this fucking guy did. I don't know. I mean, like, and I'm a huge Tarantino fan, but I don't think that this is quite done in the same exact style, because obviously Pulp Fiction is different because it's an anthology movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But kind of like Trick or Treat. It's the like
Trick or Treat. Yeah. Trick or Treat's an anthology, so those stories are all separate. Like people that tell me like I watched Pulp Fiction and I couldn't follow it. And I'm like, how could you not? It's fucking it's really at its core. It's 4 separate stories.
It's not. It's not.
How do you not follow just 4 individual fucking tales of fucking goofery, you know.
It's not Memento where it tells the story backwards.
Memento is and that's actually kind of it's closer to this. I don't know. I haven't seen Memento but one time, and it's been a long time. That being said, it's a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
But this is just masterclass storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Well, dude, the acting, the directing, the cinematography.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, like, it's great. I obviously, we've talked a lot about Kyle Gallner and how fantastic it was in this movie, but we have got to shed some love to Willa Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
The only other thing I had seen her in up to this point, I believe, was a Scream show that she was in.
Oh, was she on the Scream show?
Yeah, she was in the Scream series for the first 2 seasons, and then the movie that they made. And she was good in that. She's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
In this.
She was in the House of Usher too.
I still have not watched. Yeah. That's the only one of those I haven't watched. Like,
oh, I loved it. I cried.
This is a super side. I've just been trying to slide this in, and I'm not really sure where to, so I'm just going to stick my dick in here for a second. People on Reddit are absolutely insane. There are people that, and I've read it on a couple places on Reddit, where people are complaining about that the movie was made to be misogynistic and all this other stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's like completely the opposite.
Yeah.
What
Those
the
people
fuck?
didn't watch the movie.
And then the whole, this one kills me. To me, telling a story out of chronological order didn't do much for me. It wasn't bad, but did telling it that way make the story more compelling? Not sure.
Yes.
Maybe assisted in the bait and switch about who the villain was, I guess. And like everybody's complaint is, why do we not have more information on her? Why do you need it? Why do you? This is not a movie about her. This isn't a character study. Viewpoints of like how people, like how we as people, at least this is how I take it, how we as people automatically assume like different. It's just about assumptions. It's entirely about assumptions. And the misogynistic part of it that they're trying to like really drive home on Reddit is the police officers. Not the whole rest of the movie that you could really push for being misogynistic if you really push, but that scene, the police.
Oh, dude, and that's so okay. I want to comment on that because my point is they use a theory, like a viewpoint where everyone, and you could go, maybe this is misogyny. Everyone's just gonna automatically assume that Kyle is the fucking murderer, right? Like automatically because men are the serial killers. And they take that thought process where man goes and does fucked up shit to woman, and they use it against you to tell the story in a non-linear way that makes it incredibly, like Brian said, if you had told the story in the right direction, that like the chase scene and everything like that you have there, that you have no context that he's an asshole, but he's a cop trying to stop this crazy bitch, and you go, like, dude, this is the thing, man. It's that contrarian bullshit. And Brian and I were talking about this last week because of Terrifier 3 and like a lot of the stuff that has been like out, and how people are like screaming to the rooftops about how long legs is the best. It's the shit where we were talking about like, stop saying everything's the best. Stop saying everything's the worst. But it's like,
yeah, there is a gray area, and we did. We talked about that last episode. Yeah. How people have basically evacuated the gray area. Everything's either amazing or everything either sucks fucking cock.
Yeah,
and it is totally okay to acknowledge that something was fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and it is. We talked about that last week quite a bit about how nothing's fine anymore. Everything's either amazing and the best that it ever was, or the worst that it ever was.
You're either Jesus reincarnated or you're Hitler. There's like no in between. You're like Jesus, Hitler, Jesus, Hitler, Jesus, Hitler, and that's it's just the extremes of like, because there are people out there that like say shit like Ken is bringing up on Reddit, just to get, it's like Colin Robinson on What We Do in the Shadows. He's saying shit online to get people frustrated with him to feed. There are energy vampires everywhere. Energy vampires are everywhere. It's Colin Robinson's, who is by far my favorite character in What We Do in the Shadows. And they just want to get the fucking people riled up. And it's people that just want to fucking piss people off by saying shit.
People that want to walk into a crowd, drop a bomb, and watch the aftermath.
Yeah. It's they want to go in, eat a bunch of Taco Bell, walk into a crowded elevator, and just fart real bad, and just it's just like chemical. And like, dude, it's like this has been another really, really good. Like, I think the second half of this year has been way better, but like it's been like the last these last 3 or 4 months have been awesome for horror, and it's just like enjoy shit.
VHS Beyond was a blast.
Yeah,
you know, that was very cool. This obviously, I know this is definitely of genre for sure. Obviously, we're talking about it now. But I mean, and like, we throw Long Legs and stuff in there. Like Long Legs was good. It was fine.
It is exactly.
I'm gonna be the minority, and I'm just gonna say Long Legs was fine.
It was fine because it was fine.
And it had great performances in it, which elevated it to above fine. This has great performances too, but the movie is amazing. Like this is genuinely my number one movie of the year is Strange Darling so far. This is the best movie I've seen all year, and man, I don't think it was difficult to pick it.
No,
I think, like I said, the performances are fantastic, and we already waxed on so much about how amazing sexy ass Kyle Gallner is, but Willa Fitzgerald was absolutely fucking phenomenal in this movie, and it's always refreshing to watch a movie that only has like 2 fucking characters for the most part in the whole movie, and both of them are just giving powerhouse performances that fucking carry it. You know, like they're both phenomenal. And then of course we get Barbara Hershey and Ed Begley and 2 super cute, really fucking unhealthy fucking hippies.
Dude,
I just living their best life.
I love how he's like she's a hippie. I'm really just an old biker.
Retired biker.
Yeah. I'm an old biker. And it's just like, oh man. I want to know how the lady got out of her basement and then like happens to just like that lady's luck, man. That like she was gonna die that day regardless.
Dude, that was
the worst. she wanders back to the exact spot where the cops have picked up this chick and is just like,
I think she got shot in the face, right?
Yeah, she got shot in the head. Yeah,
shot in the fucking head,
dude. Dude, that's like the thing, man. We're like, I think that like you talk about misogyny, like fuck, man. That lady cop fucked him. That lady cop being 100%. Like being anti-misogynistic or like with doing whatever was like, oh no, she's a woman, and it was that assumption that she's a victim.
It almost feels like they're confusing misogyny and feminism and toxic feminism.
Yeah,
like I could see that. And again, like you can make the call of it being misogynistic in a way. But it also does a great job of showing like, hey, there's more to the story. Like,
and
I can understand why that would make some people mad. I totally can. I 100% can see that.
I can't. Fuck them. I'm just playing.
Fuck those people.
I can't. Fuck those people. They ain't invited to my party.
It's just like, why do you have to get angry about shit that like it's a one again? Talking about Terrifier, when Brian wandered off, I was talking to a kid.
I want to say how Rod is asking these questions. How can you get angry at this, and he gets madder at that they do at that?
Because, dude, it's the thing of extremism. It just drives me fucking insane, man. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have a generally like. The only time I come into a movie after watching a movie and I'm like upset with it is if it's boring most of the time. If a movie's boring, I hate this. I can find enjoyment out of most things. Because it's like making a movie is fucking hard, man. And it's like and these people are like shitting on stuff and shitting on all this stuff that they could never do themselves. And it's just like. It just because it's not for you, and it's like it's funny because I was hearing I watched a review of Smile 2 after I saw it, and the guy, it was Cody Leach of the YouTube, and he was talking about how like he's like, I know I'm the exception here, and that's the kind of shit that I appreciate where you go, okay, maybe it's not for me, because no movie is for everyone. No movie is for everyone.
I've been living with that since the 90s. I'm the only motherfucker on this planet that doesn't like Terminator 2. So
I mean, if we're gonna go like I'm going to make sure on Brian's tombstone it says this motherfucker hated Terminator 2.
Fuck John Connor's crybaby ass. The greatest scene ever filmed in the history of Hollywood is the beginning of Terminator Dark Fate, when that T-800 model just fucking shoots the fuck out of that irritating little shit.
Dude,
I didn't even finish the movie. I just kept rewinding it and watching it. I did that for 2.5 hours. And then I wrote a review on
and Brian,
face.
this is Brian.
The greatest thing I ever fucking saw in my
life. Brian's got the remote to rewind and his dick in the other hand. He's like, oh, shotgun,
Nothing puts a smile on my face like seeing John Connor get shot by a T-800. Fucking sexy.
It's just like, that's the thing. Rolling back around, it's like, I can understand you not liking this movie. I can understand this movie being triggering because of the sexual violence, even though it's consensual sexual. That's what this woman wanted. This is what this character wanted. And guess what, guys? You're not making this shit up. What they were doing in that bedroom wasn't that far off. If not, I mean, fuck, it's that. Let me take it back. There are plenty of people. Yeah, there are plenty of people that this is what they want. And
I've
going.
Done that.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. I have too. So you sit there and go, yeah, two consenting adults. This goes back to my previous thing of like, my recurring thought process of, as long as you're not hurting anyone, what I do in the bedroom, what you do in the bedroom, what anyone does in the bedroom shouldn't fucking matter. But like taking stuff like that, which is shown as consensual and is in a way that is like, that's what these people wanted. They're not hurting anyone. I mean, they start hurting each other afterwards, but that's besides the point. It's just like making reasons to be outraged about shit that is, 1, fictional, 2, that's not fucking harmful, and 3, that's just like pure fucking entertainment gold. Going, this isn't for me. Okay, cool. It's not for you.
Yeah.
But like going in onto Reddit and going, this is massage. Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah. Rod needs a nap.
I do.
He doesn't wore himself all out.
I just want, like, it's a thing where you don't, and I know that social media is the thing, Reddit's the thing, all this stuff, that people want to stand out. They want to be that thing where, like, because it's like a thing where, like, go back to, like, I mean, it used to be critics. Like, critics would, like, go, like, critics in the 80s, they'd be like, oh, Jason is just a fucking, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, This movie isn't made for you. It's made for people who want to just go watch turn their brain off for 90 minutes and watch some people get killed. And then the critics are
That's the easiest way to get me to buy your ticket.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about earlier. Obviously, everybody has their vibe, and I tend to lean towards silly slasher movies. Obviously, I've got I got a My Bloody Valentine tattoo on my back and a Halloween tattoo on my chest. So I definitely vibe with slashers and things like that. And obviously, I can certainly enjoy sitting down and watching something that's significantly more cerebral.
Yeah.
But the easiest way to get my money is to show me dead fucking teenagers fucking and I'll buy the shit out of that ticket,
dude.
But
yeah,
what you to piggyback on what you said earlier that we've talked about in the past is just don't make it boring.
Yeah.
because you're right, like that's an unforgivable sin when it comes to making movies. And obviously I'm not a filmmaker, and it's hard. If it wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it. We've seen a lot of fan films that are just awful. And that's proof that, hey man, making movies is difficult. Now, luckily we've also seen some really kick-ass fan films too.
Yeah.
And, but just don't make the goddamn movie boring, because I'll find joy in anything. If it's so bad it's entertaining, I'll watch the fuck out of that. I mean, like, shit, that was the 80s in a nutshell. If you were employed at Canon,
yeah,
I mean, all they did was make really bad fucking 80s.
Okay. Brian's gonna bring up Cobra again, because
Brian, goddamn right I am, because Cobra's a cinematic fucking masterpiece, and we talk It's a movie about a slasher. Okay, tell me that doesn't fucking qualify as fodder for us to talk about.
Yep.
I got the soundtrack on vinyl, by the way. I think I told you about that.
Yep.
I did. I found the soundtrack to that on vinyl. It's fucking glorious. But yeah, just make it entertaining. You know, if it's so bad, it's good. If it's so good, it's great. You know, just don't make a fucking movie boring. And that's where I get lost sometimes. Can't.
It's funny because it's been a weird year for horror because we've had some really good horror movies not doing anything at the box office, and now we're on the second. We just passed the second weekend of Terrifier 3. It made like
$9 million.
Yeah, it made. Yep. So it was up to 36, I think was what they said.
34, 36, 37, 52. I don't know, 112, whatever.
Well, while Smile 2 made like 64 million, or was it 30? Like,
did it really? Nice.
Yeah, it made a bunch of money itself, and
that's
it's excellent. After some of these other movies that Abigail
lost like over 80% of its fucking like haul. It was like the biggest drop or some shit in the history of
well, dude,
time or something. I can't remember.
I mean, it's the thing like where we have capitalism being the point where like it's gone so out of control, whereas like all the prices have gone up, even though like I still don't understand how after, you know, the COVID and like the movie theaters almost dying, that like shit was like still like going, oh yeah, let's put the prices up for shit. And it's just like, and we have the world where like, you know, Best Buy doesn't carry physical media anymore with all this shit. And it's like, it's just a weird fucking world where like capitalism is at like, it's at its breaking point in my mind. But like, it's good to see these movies that I think are like high quality and be made by these people that really enjoy what they're doing. I mean, this movie is directed so beautifully, written so beautifully, and done. Like it won't get any Oscar nominations because why would it?
It's a shame because this is I keep saying it. This is the best movie I've seen this year. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
I think the only thing that even like has made me think about it as much is probably then the Substance, and Demi Moore deserves a fucking nomination for that movie because
she's amazing. She's amazing in that.
Ken, you're gonna love that movie, and
I can't wait to talk about it with Ken. Yeah, I can't wait to talk.
It's gonna be wonderful, but like, it's just that thing where it's like, I don't know, it's that thing where the real world sucks a lot of time. Let's be fucking real. I mean, we have a crazy election happening. We have all this shit happening in the U.S. and like all around the world, crazy shit's happening, and it's just like, can't you just people enjoy the arts and enjoy things and like not trying to ruin things for other people? Like, if I
don't read into shit so hard. Let shit go. Like, let it be what it is. You don't have to find something deep. It's just like when we were in school, and when I was in school, I took this advanced lit class, and there was a whole conversation about how like he had asked us what something meant in a book, and people are giving all of these deep philosophical answers. And he's like, yeah, okay, I could see that. Yeah, okay, I could see that. And he was like, but what if I told you that the lemon, because I think the example he used was a lemon, is yellow because it's a lemon. It doesn't have anything to do with the concept of sunshine. It doesn't have anything to do with the concept of cleanliness. Yeah. It's a yellow lemon. And we were like, oh, and he goes, not everything has to be so deep.
Yeah,
Let it ride. Some authors don't even realize what you're piecing together until after the fact. And they're like, oh, it's not what I meant. All right, I guess.
It's that thing where like, I've had people talk about it, like where like movies mean or allegories for things, right? And I usually don't get those things. I'm just like kind of trying to live in the moment more than times, but like it's like sitting here talking with you guys about it. Like I think of like Cuckoo that we did whatever 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, whatever the fuck it was, and how I like sitting there talking to you. I was like, this kind of just comes off like a fairy tale to me. Like that's kind of what my brain processed afterwards. I don't usually get these like, oh, this means this and this means that, and it's just like, okay, I mean, that could be that, but like, I think that's fine. I just think that the extremes of like people wanting to make things just like, again, either there's like 2 options, the worst or the best, and nothing in between is just like, fuck, man, you can't, that will be a thing where like, you're going to ruin entertainment for you. You can't like, because I don't know about you guys. I know I think you're both on the same page too. Like live music is something that is like real important to me and something that means a lot to me. And live music isn't perfect. Live music is raw. Brian's a performer. Yeah. He knows this. Live music's raw. Live music there are mistakes in it. There are things that like you got missed notes. You got missed whatever. And that doesn't matter because it's the experience of what this is. Yeah. And I think movies are exactly the same thing. No movie's perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect movie. And you could go, this is as close to a perfect movie. I know I'll commit my cardinal sin here, and I've never seen all of The Godfather. I think I made it through halfway of it in like.
You ever seen all of The Godfather?
No.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, but like, because you're
fucking good.
Yeah, I know. But you hear people going like, it's a perfect movie, right? There is no perfect movie. There's no such thing. But you can be like, it's as close to a perfect movie as I think there is, and it could be your opinion for that. Like Psycho Goreman is like as perfect as a movie will ever be because it's Psycho Goreman. But like, it's that kind of thing where, and it's just, I'm wrapping it back around to like, that doesn't mean that your opinion matters less. That doesn't mean that your opinion's wrong. That doesn't mean anything. That means it's your opinion, and you don't have to go out and try to ruin things for everyone else. You don't have to go and make sure that everyone knows how smart you are, how deep you are. Like Ken's talking about, like, oh, how deep is that lemon? How deep is that lemon? As deep as you putting your dick in it and fucking it, because then you're gonna get citrus in your pee hole, and then bad things are happening. But like, it's that thing where it's like, just, it doesn't have to be everything in the world about you proving on social media and Reddit and Facebook and Instagram or TikTok that you're the smartest person in the world who only knows the best, and nobody, like, it's just, stop, man. The human experience is about experience. It's why it's the human experience. It's not about convincing everyone how smart you are, how your opinion's the best, because I think that's one of those things about this podcast is like, it's never been about that with me. It's like, I want to talk to my friends about cool horror movies and have a good time and bullshit. Right. Yeah. And it's like, it just, I don't know, man. I think that if less people were like focused on trying to prove these things and like go off and ruin things for other people and just be like fucking bah humbugs about everything, I think the world would be a better place. I think people would be happier because they're not like worried about how many likes they get on, Twitter or Instagram or whatever. And like, they're just like, that's why Ken always shows silly TikToks at the beginning of her streams that are just like, they're not in depth, like, conceptions of why life is what it is. It's like a cat being tripped out on mushrooms for a minute or whatever the fuck she was showing this morning. That was just wild shit. And it's just like, enjoy that. Enjoy your stupid thing. Enjoy your stupid comedy. It's okay to like stupid things. It's okay to be like,
I am not gonna lie, Rod. I have lost focus on you. I love you, but
I zoned out there for a bit too.
I zoned out for a little, man.
I'm sorry. It's Ken's reading those things off of Reddit. Just like it went back to that thing where I'm just like, man, just enjoy things. That's all. My twirling around and rambling and losing you two off of ADHD Island. It's just, all I was saying was enjoy things, and you two could ramble for a minute, and I'll shut
up. I got nothing other than I love you. Hey man, we're making Warren watch something.
What are you making him watch now?
Tonight we are making him watch A Christmas Horror Story because we're going to. Oh, you've never seen that? Oh, it's a fun anthology horror movie about various Christmas tales. It's got, I think, three different tales. William Shatner's in it. But yeah, it is actually pretty fucking good, man. I've seen it once before, but yeah, we're making him watch A Christmas Horror Story, and then the episode after that, bro? I can't wait for this one. We're gonna make him watch Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Have you guys seen that?
We should totally talk about Christmas Bloody Christmas coming up this December.
I'm good with that.
It's like, what would happen if Silent Night, Deadly Night fucked a T-800.
Oh, that's the robot Santa murder. Yes. Oh, was that the one we? No. Oh, that's the brand new one, right? Yes. We just watched. Josh and I watched. Or no, can you watch that with us? Didn't you?
Which one?
The chick.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
No, the Christmas Bloody Christmas. It was the punk rock chick.
Yeah,
we watched that last year. Yeah.
Did you guys talk about it on the podcast?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, fuck you then.
The name of that? No, the other one we have it, dude.
A Christmas Horror Story is pretty badass, actually.
Yeah. Cool. That sounds like fun. Ken, and while you're in, you're doing some cool. Ken's going to see Texas Chainsaw, which is going to be awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I'm really excited.
We also have like stuff that that's now popping up on digital that we have an option to talk about in the future. We're doing The Substance next week, but Ken still hasn't watched Alien Romulus. So that's the thing we could talk about in the near future.
Yeah, Kat wants to watch that, so we're gonna watch that.
Okay, then we'll do that at some point. Maybe after you get back to Canada.
We need to do Shocker.
We could do that probably after Christmas time. We still have to catch up with. Okay, we'll do the Shocker. Come here, Brian. Junior Pink and one of your stink.
Pink.
Okay, and I'm sorry I've rambled. I just want people to enjoy shit, man. It's just like
clearly.
People make me mad. It's just like I want to enjoy awesome things like Strange. Also,
getting extreme about being mad about how people.
I know the irony of it. Yeah, I know. Also, am I the only one who thought of Alias when she put that red wig on in this movie?
Oh shit! I do. Damn.
I thought of
Fifth Element.
I was thinking Lulu Dallas Multipass.
Yeah, I was thinking the Fifth Element myself. Yeah, same.
It made me think of Alias, and I'm just like,
that was Jennifer Garner, right?
Yep, Jennifer Garner, who seems like the sweetest lady in the fucking world. If you ever hear, she like cooks on YouTube or some shit like that, and does shit like that, and does like or Instagram or whatever. Okay, cool. We'll wrap up. You guys have got shit going on. Brian's recording another podcast, and I've rambled. Next week is The Substance. We're gonna make you watch is making Warren watch your Christmas movie.
Yeah, I think we got some stuff popping up on the We're Gonna Make You Watch YouTube though, guys. If you're interested, head over where me and Isaiah reviewed every single Halloween movie, and we're dropping one every day between. It's already going on now to Halloween. The last one will drop on Halloween, and we talked about Halloween, all of them. So the last one that drops will obviously be Halloween Ends. Yeah, we started with the OG, and we're working our way through.
I've not watched.
You might see my rant might be up about me hating gun media more than everything under the sun.
There's still two Halloween movies I've never watched.
Which ones are those?
Halloween 3 and
I've never seen Halloween 3. Okay,
and Resurrection or. What's the one with Busta Rhymes? Is that Resurrection? Yeah, I haven't watched that one either.
Oh, we should totally talk about Halloween Resurrection.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
no, I don't want to do that.
Hey,
no.
Ken, don't you want to talk about Halloween Resurrection here in a couple weeks?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up, Brian.
2 against 1, bitch.
Fuck.
Did I just get booted off the podcast?
No, you didn't. You boot me off.
Before we wrap up anything, I just want to give a big shout out to Brian for the killer social media.
Oh,
just absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for staying on top of it. You're daily out there pushing content. We love it. If you're not following the Twitter, go follow the Twitter account.
We're going to have to do.
So much. You're killing it.
Yeah, he's doing awesome. I think we're going to have to make a blue sky because I am this close to just deleting Twitter.
It's becoming an absolute cesspool. Yeah. It's getting worse and worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't call it X.
I know Twitter. Sorry.
Fuck Elon. Fuck Elon. Fuck Elon. Fuck Elon. Ken, besides Satisfactory and your building things, dude, I watched Ken. My brain starts like melting like her and Brian did when I was rambling. Ken's like building shit and flying around the map and like building factories and talking math about like whatever. And I'm just like,
I'm in a situation where I have not been keeping track of the map as I build up in my factory. So if you're not familiar with Satisfactory, you're making factories. You start out with just very, very simple nodes of like copper and iron. You eventually have to come up with ways to power things, and it just grows and grows and grows. And you're building this stuff to send up to the space station for this company. And there's different tiers as you go. I'm currently on phase 4, and I am building a building to specifically handle this one particular thing that I need 500 of. And there's math, and it's based on different levels and purities and belt speeds and all this shit. And I just kind of shut down on the math about halfway up this building, and now I am fucked, and I have no clue what the math is. I'm just doing guess and check, plug and play. I'm gonna have a backup tomorrow. It's gonna be a shit show. But if you like Satisfactory, or if you don't, but you just like bullshit, come by. 8 a.m. Eastern every day except for Saturday.
Yes, go watch Kin, twitch.tv/continue with a KINTINUE. Continue. Kin, I had told Kin this before she said her name in the chat. I think I tried to make her name way too complicated myself. And
everybody does.
Yep. So
Continue, Kitsune. There's no S. Then all right. Just continue.
There's some drama going on in my town, though. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
Yeah. And I was going to say happy birthday to Zelda, because she is 2 today. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, Zelda's hanging out with me if you're not watching. So, okay. And you can follow me on Twitter at Roger_Johnston and Twitch. And yeah. And fuck Twitter. I don't know. Like, my account's about to be deleted, and I hate it so much. But, yes, next week we talk about the shit show awesome movie that is The Substance.
Oh,
so,
man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we will talk to you guys next week. And we love you, and take it easy. And thanks for listening to my rambling. So, bye. Bye. Blah, 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 blah.